Hello everybody, how are you doing today? Welcome back to another energy reading for the week of, where are we, August 30th today. It's, if you can't tell, I'm burning some sage right now because it's that kind of day. It's really that kind of day. It's funny because I came on here and I was like, okay, well, I haven't been able to really tap into kind of any energies per se because I've been going through my own stuff and it's been loud. So I want to know, of those of you out there, who is experiencing breakdowns? Who's getting tripped up by brick walls or things falling apart? Or my daughter this week, just yesterday, started breaking a fever. Runny nose. I'm like, oh great. 2 years old, right? Last week it was my dog. My husband had an issue last week as well. It's like everyone in my household right now is falling apart. I had my breakdown last week. So I'm saging. Just get that sage out and burn it up. What sage really does, it cleanses the air, purifies the air. It actually eats away all of the bacteria in the air, which is really good. That's a good reason to sage, but it also cleanses negativity, things that have been clinging to you. Because that's the thing, when you go out into the world and you are experiencing things and you bring that energy back with you, what you don't realize is that you're creating etheric cords and connecting you to these things, right? But then we come back and we just go about our days, not think about it, or mentally disconnect from that energy. And maybe I've been doing that a little bit lately. But also I've been finding that the energy of August is meant to make you hit your breaking point. So now that we're at the end of August, coming into September, how many of you have hit a breaking point of some kind this month? Over the last couple of weeks, just kind of thinking back, what kind of challenges have you been facing in your life right now? That's really, those are really key points to kind of pay attention to, because these are things that are just coming up, obviously, to be seen and to be cleared. But it's also holding a lesson for you too. There's something deeper in with it. And I can tell you, first and foremost, when I'm going through my day and dealing with family issues like my son and get my daughter and, and my dog, just everything, it's a good thing to keep grounded as much as you possibly can too, right? When you're dealing with all of these things around you that seem to be falling apart and you trying so hard to hold it together and trying to be the strong one. Well, what I've learned, and I'm going to tell you, is trying to be the strong one isn't always going to benefit you. Sometimes it's okay to kind of just let go and break down with the energies, right? So I just wanted to kind of get in and just be frank and real and honest with you guys that yes, even spiritual teachers and coaches have those times too. So I just wanted to just jump into the reading today and really see what our angels and our guides have, what kind of guidance they have for us. And if you're watching, say hi. Let me know if you're watching live or the replay. Let me know you're here. Let me know how you have been experiencing this month, what it's been like for you. So I brought out my angel oracle deck to see what the angels have to say, because I find when we tap into the higher frequencies, the higher dimensions, so angels reside in about the 7th to the 11th dimension, right? We are in the 3rd dimension right now, right? We're moving up to the 5th. But what we want to do is connect with higher vibrational frequencies so that we can get higher vibrational messages coming in. And then that allows us to then access our higher state of being, our higher state of consciousness, right? And that's why it's good to always set the intention to connect with the highest good for all, right? Set the intention first and foremost. That way, when messages come through, you know that they're for you, right? So I'm going to just pull out 3 cards past, present, and future. Just kind of get an idea, get more of a glimpse into when is this energy going to disperse? When is it going to shift? And how is it going to shift? And what's going to make it shift for you, right? I have so many questions. I'm sure you do too. If you have any questions, feel free to post them in the comments and let me know if you have anything right now. If you're watching live or the replay, I'll come back and post it. I'll do a comment in the comments if you have a question. So right now I'm just going to pull 3 cards. Okay, so first one, second. Whoop, there we go. Okay, interesting. So the first card that came up was entrepreneur, which is interesting because entrepreneur, it says self-employment suits your disposition and intentions. Working for yourself allows you to better follow your intuition and divine guidance. We, the angels, are co-workers and teammates who remain loyal by your side to ensure your success in all ways. So how here that work for themselves from home or even thinking about working for yourself, and that's something that has been on your mind, because this message is for you. It's for those of you out there who want to finally break free from the system and go off on your own and venture off and do your own thing, chase your own passions. And maybe a good question to check into. It's interesting because before I tuned in to this reading, the one message that came through was, where do we go from here? And it's basically, the idea is to start formulating an idea of what you want your life to be like. And that's what the message is this week. Start thinking about, where do I go from here? What do I want from this point on in my life? Where do I see myself going, right? What is best for me? That's sometimes the hardest thing to answer, because as mothers and caretakers and women and nurturers, we want to give to everybody else around us. And we always self-sacrifice our own needs because we are taught that that is noble, that that is acceptable, and that is the strength, right? But what really takes strength is going out of your comfort zone and doing something that you don't normally do, and something that you would consider risky. What would that be for you? That is an interesting thought to start thinking about, right? And that's what this reading this week is all about, is just planting those seeds and kind of connecting to a place of what you really want from the rest of your life, from this point on. Because we have gone through so much collapse, so much change, and things are still changing. Things are still moving forward, and we're not done yet. This is just the beginning, which is crazy to think, right? So I'm going to go back to my notes because this is interesting. The entrepreneur card came out, and my main focus is, where do we go from here, right? So I want to know, those of you who are watching live or the replay, is that something that's been on your mind? Is that something that you have been kind of thinking about or mulling over? If that's something you've been thinking about, that's something that I could definitely help you through coaching with, right? If you are an empath and you are looking to become a healer, which empaths are natural healers, by the way, right? So Jordan says, yes, yeah, you've been thinking about going out on your own and doing your own thing, right? And what does that look like to you? What does that mean? If you go out on your own, what do you make that mean for yourself, right? There's a lot of things to consider, but the only way you're going to find out is if you just go out and do it. Bottom line, you got to just be like Nike and just do it, right? And don't have the fear, because the fear is what's keeping you trapped in the 3D. And the whole idea here is to raise your vibration, raise your frequency high enough so that we can ascend to the 5 dimension and have that paradise on earth kind of life, right? And we're well on our way. We are all going in our own way. We may take the long way up the mountain, but we're all going to get to the top of the mountain at some point, right? So that's very interesting. Okay, the next card that came out, so the middle card was perfect timing. Right now. So this is the present card. This is the here and now card. The perfect timing is now to do these things, to make those moves. What are some big, bold moves that you could take or that you've been thinking about taking but too afraid to? Now is the time. So the card itself, it says, now is the perfect moment for you to act on your inspirations, whatever those inspirations are. The doors are open. While you walk through them, we will be by your side, the angels. Don't delay or procrastinate, as all of the ingredients are ripe for your success right now. Everything and everyone is on your side supporting you for a positive outcome. And that's the biggest thing too, is a lot of the times we feel alone, we feel scared, we're unsure, or we'll convince ourselves that it's not safe right now. And even though everything is kind of lining up and saying perfect timing, you know, these cards are coming up saying, hey, it's perfect time, take the step now. Whatever step it is, it doesn't have to be a big step. It just has to be a step, whatever that is to you, right? And the next card that came out was notice the signs. Notice the signs. What signs have you been seeing lately? This is something that I've been coming up a lot. Last week, actually, we were talking about different feathers, right? Different feathers have been popping up in our paths as we've been going about our day. What kind of signs have you been noticing? What has been making that giving you that light bulb moment, giving that ping is the only way I like to call it. You get that ping, you're like, oh, it just stands out to you. You don't know why. It doesn't make sense until maybe you think about it later. But what are some things that have been giving you that ping in your heart chakra? It says, notice the signs. Yes, the signs that you've been receiving are heaven sent. We drop feathers, coins, and other signs upon your path to remind you that you are loved and you are never alone. So that is a very interesting reading this week. It's really something to start thinking about, really something to kind of give you that kick in the butt to maybe take that next step, what you've been putting off. What have you been putting off? Is there something that, you've been wanting for a while and you're not sure how to go about it? Or, what's the right step? I'm going to tell you something about the right step. Every step is the step. It doesn't make it wrong. It doesn't make it right. What makes it wrong or right is your opinion on it or your judgment about it. Nothing is actually wrong. Everything has a learning lesson to it, right? So whether you needed to do something to find out that it wasn't for you, you still have done it, right? And you wouldn't have known if you didn't do it. So it's not about making judgments, whether it's the right thing to do, because if you're going to wait for the right thing to do, you're going to be waiting your entire life for whatever it is that you want, right? So just know that. And of course, I do want to tap into my sacred geometry deck to find out what energy would we need to activate in our energy fields in order to align us to the highest vibration. So that being said, I'm going to just pull the next card and see what energies we need to activate in our energy body to get the highest vibration. Okay, so looks like we have the energy of transition. Whoop, I got things popping up here. Okay, so transition. Who here feels like they're in a transition right now? Who here is not sure which way to go or what to do or how to take that next step? Something big is coming up in your life, and this is kind of the build-up to that big change that's coming into your life right now. Right? How do you feel about that? When you think about the transition, or if you're at this place of unknown and have to make a decision for your next step, how do you feel about it? You got to really check into your physical body and see what the vibrations that you're holding, because the vibrations that you're holding about this transition that you're going to face or you're facing right now is the results that you're going to get from it. So if you're feeling unsure about it, you're going to be attracting more things in your life that you're unsure about, to give you reasons to feel more unsure, right? So the transition is not going to be a smooth one, is if you just fall in with total faith and trust that everything is for your highest good, no matter how hard or easy it is, right? Just trust and surrender to the process. that this is how things are just gonna go, right? So it says the frequency of transition supports our deep understanding of the ever-changing nature existence of our lives. And that's the thing too. The only thing constant in life is change. That we can guarantee. So even if you get used to things being a certain way, life is just going to throw a curveball at you. So it's more or less being prepared for those curveballs, even though they're completely unknown what they could be, right? So it says, so that we can learn to let go and surrender to the process and allow the transition to occur with ease and grace, right? So it's just tapping into where you're at in this place of change that we're all going through right now. How do you feel about the change? Do you even know what those feelings are? Because that again is going to start attracting more of the same, right? Law of attraction, like attracts like. Okay, so I'm just going to pull our last card. And if any of these messages are resonating with you, definitely let me know. Let me know what you're connecting with, what doesn't make sense, or, you know, just I want to know. Let me know in the comments. Okay, so the last card, whoo, oh, interesting. This just flew up. Okay, so the last card is Raven. Interesting. How many people have been seeing ravens lately? That's an interesting thing. It says prepare for change. There is a lot of stuff going on this week. We got transition. We got to prepare for change. The entrepreneur card is telling you that you're going to, you know, have what does it say? It says working for yourself allows you to follow your divine intuition and guidance. So following that nudge, following that push, those hints, those signs that you have been getting that have been heaven sent, and just jumping on it. It's the perfect time right now. All of these cards are lining up and telling you the same thing. So whoever is listening to these messages today, these are meant for you. You've jumped on to this live, or you've jumped on to this recording because you felt a pull. There's something in it for you. Let me know what you find out that is for you. But that is very interesting. Okay, so the Raven, let's see what the book has to say about the Raven. Okay, so the guidance of the Raven for this week. It says, when you receive this card, your guidance is to watch your thoughts. Make sure that they are positive and wholesome, because again, you attract what you hold, right? So examine your intentions and make clear ones for everyone's good, including your own. A pure vision sets your journey to enlightenment and ascension. The Raven suggests that you have skills and talents that will enable you to bypass obstacles in a clever and different way. It also warns you to be prepared for sudden change or transition into something unexpected and new. You have all the support you need to help you through this transition ahead. Well, I don't know if I really need to say any more, really. We are going through a big, massive change. It's one to be honest, this change that we're going through right now as a humanity, as humans on planet Earth, is one that has never been attempted before. Not of this magnitude. Jumping into another dimension, jumping into another level of vibrational state as a collective globe. Like, it's not just humans that are doing this. Mother Earth is getting prepared to do this as well. So this is why you're going to see a lot of chaos and a lot of stronger storms and a lot more just chaos around the world, because everything is changing, everything is unsettled. And hi Kim, thanks so much for coming on. So it's just a matter of understanding that yes, we are in this time of change. It's not a time to fear anything, because fear is just going to keep you in this little bubble of uncertainty, right? What you really want to do is flip it and look at the other side, because there is another side to everything. There always has been. We just keep forgetting to look there because we're not trained. Our minds are not programmed to look at the other side. But now it is your job to train your mind to start looking at the other side. Look through the transition. Look at where we are. Look at where you want to go. What do you want to get out of this? You are the creator of your own reality, by the way. So whatever you want out of life, you just have to go after it and claim it. And have the audacity to call it yourself, call it your own, call it yours, right? So this has been a very interesting reading, to say the least. This is not something that I expected, to be honest. Coming in, I really didn't have much expectation of what to get from the message, but looks like everybody is kind of going through this transition and change at this time. And when we are open and vocal about how we feel about the change, it's going to be a lot less, it's going to make you a lot less anxious because when you're disconnected from how you're feeling about something, that's when the false fear can come in. And fear is just an illusion anyway. It's just, it's the lowest vibration you could ever have. And it's about putting in, creating more love. So connecting to your heart chakra, really understanding what it feels like to be you and what you are feeling and experiencing in the moment as it's occurring, as things are happening, right? So it's just tuning into what's in your heart center. What do you want? And if you're having trouble navigating this change or transition for yourself, I do offer coaching. That is something that I'd be happy to help you with. So yeah. And that's it for me. I just want to send you so much love, so much light, and I look forward to seeing you again next week. Mwah. Take care. Bye-bye.